Hello. Yeah, so it's Chris Wabbs.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I hope you're doing well as well.
Yes.
Yeah, and I hope today you can be able to understand my accent better. I'll try to talk slowly.
Okay. I understand it pretty good. It might be some words I won't get.
Like when I pronounce some words faster, or because of the different type of pronunciation.
Right.
Uh,
You know we pronounce your name Chris Webb, but that's not how you pronounce your name, is it?
no. Actually, my name is Wabuile. Wabuile, but now because that way it sounds difficult for many people, so I just say Wabs. But it's
Webb.
our pronunciation of vowels is very different with how you guys pronounce vowels, or we pronounce vowels based on like African languages, and
Okay.
and not according to the. I think that's where the difference is.
Right.
But it's okay. So I just wanted to begin with last time when we did last time when we posted your video. Yeah, are you able to hear me? Hello.
You're breaking up a little bit.
Oh, I'm breaking up.
Yeah. You got some kind of weird sound in the background, and you're going in and out.
I don't know. Oh, can I maybe change? I don't know. Am I still like right now? How about right now?
No, yeah, the sound went away,
Yeah,
so it's sounding better.
yeah. Oh, now it sounds okay.
Yes, it sounds okay.
If it continues, I can try switching up, changing the internet. But you saying you're still able to hear me right now? Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so like I wanted to begin with one question of like, do you believe that Maxwell technology works or not, according to what you know so far?
Yes, it works, but it has problems. So if you understand what problems they have with the technology that he's using,
Yeah.
all people who use the same technology has the same problem.
I see. Because like lately, when he has been quiet for a while, and people have been like, I think like many people are starting to have doubts, like is this technology real or not? So do you believe maybe such problems are the ones which are making him to be quiet, or maybe he just doesn't have a product?
Well, like I said, because he doesn't have much experience,
Yeah.
He's figuring this stuff out by himself. He figured it out right. That's the amazing thing, is that he figured out what Nikola Tesla figured out all by himself. So that was amazing.
Yeah.
But what happened is that when you don't get regular schooling, you don't understand the faults they put in these applications, these circuits. The reason why they put these problems in the circuit is because we were taught in school, if you made a superior product and when it hits the market, you cannot sell anymore, because what happened is that it'll saturate the market, and because your product never dies or never goes out, you have nothing else to sell.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Do you understand this?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So they put faults into these circuits. These circuits explode or blow up, fuses blow, so you can be a repeat customer so they can resell the product to you. This is well known. They teach it in all our colleges. So they say if you they use an example, Tupperware. Tupperware said their stuff will last your lifetime.
Yeah.
Well, Tupperware went out of business because once they saturated the market, nobody needed it no more because it lasts a lifetime. So you're done. It lasts forever.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So they went out of business. So they said, why would you make such a product that lasts forever, and then in a few years, when it saturates the market, you have nothing else to sell? So they purposely make inferior products. And unfortunately, Maxwell started ripping out these circuits out of other products, not knowing that they were inferior. Okay? There's the problem.
But there's that video that last time I brought to attention where he says that he uses 70% his own components and 30 are only like 30 is what already exists, but 70% is what he comes up on its own. You believe that, or?
Yes, I believe that. But guess what? You got. Here's the thing. If you use all your components in your projects, and your project takes batteries, and you have no batteries, how good is your product?
Yeah.
Did you understand the question?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so if you made all your components, you said, "Oh, I made this new radio, but it takes batteries," but you don't have any batteries. How good is your product? You get it?
Yeah, I do.
So let me put it in Maxwell thing. Maxwell uses MOSFETs, those little black units. I don't care how many components he made.
Yeah.
If those blow up because they are the main drivers of his product doesn't work.
So he has to have the MOSFETs in it. I've seen a lot of comments lately, many people supporting that concept of MOSFETs. Even today, there's somebody who I saw posting about the same and told them to contact you. They're also very sure 100% that Maxwell is using MOSFETs.
Yes. But see, you got to understand that we've seen it on his radio. We know what MOSFETs do. We understand why that aluminum plate needs to be cooled, because you have to cool MOSFETs because it makes amps, what we call current, pulse current.
Yeah.
We normally, laymen, call it amps, but there is no amps. There's not even amps in your electricity plug, not even in Africa. When you plug something into the wall, you're not using amps. When people quote the thing says voltage times amps, they don't know what they're talking about, because we're using pulse current, and they don't know the difference between current and amps. This is the reason why they can't do all this new technology. When they're looking for green energy, or they're looking for what they call free energy, they can't produce this because they don't know the difference between pulse current and amps, which is the secret. Nikola Tesla made pulse current, in which we all were supposed to be using. They didn't want us using that, because you can artificially make a pulse current. Therefore, they have nothing to sell. This is the reason why I spoke up in the first place.
Yes, you've been very vocal. Lately, you've been very vocal about this, and many people are talking about you.
Yeah, because we know the components. That's why I said once we've seen the aluminum plate, the fan, the transformer, I says, you know what? He has a MOSFET in there. He needs that to switch. It makes current, which means in layman terms, he's creating amps. The only way you can charge batteries if you have enough amps in your system.
Yes.
I don't care what other parts he got. If he doesn't have the energy to charge the battery, he has no product. That's what the MOSFETs do.
Yeah, so in fact, this brings me to another question. Like in the very first video of yours that we posted on the channel, you said that he has to use an input system like a battery, and many people in the comments came up and said his device does not use any battery as an input source. But maybe can you be able to explain why he needs the battery? Because even on the Safe Technology website, on the most frequent asked question, they have indicated that they use a battery as an input source to start the system. So maybe can you be able to explain why that battery is important?
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Batteries have amps and voltage. You start the system, which he said his main input thing is batteries. If they watch this interview, Maxwell say that himself.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now, if you're switching your MOSFET and it starts to make its own current, okay?
Yes.
Then you don't need any more of the battery. Because you got another component that's like little generators that's giving you all the power you need to charge back up the battery. Okay, let's take an example of how the original car worked. If you didn't have an alternator in your car, your battery would go dead. If your battery goes dead, it wouldn't fire the spark plugs that ignite the gasoline. Okay?
Yeah.
So in the initial, you turn over your car, the battery goes into and turns on the engine. The engine drives the alternator. The alternator now recharges the battery. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, so why would his be any different?
Yeah, I see. People need to know. I think most people missed that part, and they feel like it doesn't need it. But again, which brings us to now, like this concept of free energy. It has been around for far too long, and maybe do you believe like the lack of an input energy source is what maybe made those who came before to be able to fail to achieve the free energy concept?
Well, they're not going to understand the energy concept because when Nikola Tesla brought it to forefront, he had patents. He built the Wardenclyffe Tower.
Yeah.
He took the energy from the sky and the earth, which is a capacitor.
Yeah.
And then he amplified that, which is voltage only. He amplified the voltage. Okay?
Yes.
When he did that, remember, this is only voltage. Okay? It's potential energy. That's what we call it. Voltage is potential energy. It's not usable without current. Okay? So what happened is, what is current? And this is what people mess up when they say, oh, Nikola Tesla was going to transmit energy over the air. You can't transmit energy over the air because amps don't go through the air. Mm-hmm. Okay? Amps do not go through the air. Okay?
Okay.
So how do you get your amps? It's called frequency. Each tower would take electricity, voltage from the air and the earth. Each antenna he built would have done that automatically. So he doesn't need to transmit anything. It makes no sense if you take one tower and you get electricity from the air and the ground. Why would you need to transfer the same amount of energy over to somewhere else if you can just take it from the air and the ground where it's at? So what he was going to transmit was the frequency, which was the radio waves. That was a radio tower. I would tell people to go back and study Nikola Tesla and what he was supposed to build for, J.P. Morgan, the banker. He was supposed to be building a radio station and be the first person to send a radio wave. But Marconi stole his patents, used his patents, and made the first broadcast. This is what made J.P. Morgan mad and said he was going to shut down the program. Okay. So the whole point is that tower was going to transmit radio waves. This is a frequency. And now if you take a frequency and you vibrate voltage at a very high speed, it makes pulse current. Pulse current.
I see.
This is your free energy that everybody's been looking for, because you just took radio waves, you vibrated at a high speed, and you get pulse current. You can run any application. Any application. I don't care if it's a car. I don't care if it's a motorcycle. I don't care if it's any applications. If you got voltage times current, which means amps, you can run anything you want. As far as this electrical, when we talk about electrical motors and stuff like that.
So, like, when it comes to this type of technology, can you be able to clarify maybe what's the difference between what you're doing and what Maxwell is doing? I know you both need an input energy system, but like, what's the difference between Lloyd's technology and maybe Maxwell's type of technology, the microsonic energy device?
Maxwell said it himself. He's taking radio waves and he's amplifying those radio waves. I'm taking solar energy, and I don't need to amplify solar energy because it's giving you all the voltage you need. I take the MOSFETs, the same ones Maxwell used, and I'm getting the current I need to charge my batteries. So once you do that, even though the technology comes from the MOSFETs are not the only technology to use. They're inferior. Like I said, you have to cool them. And if you don't cool them, they actually literally pop, explode, like Maxwell said. So if Maxwell turned off his cooling system, those things actually do blow up. It's not harmful. I mean, many of the components like capacitors pop. You see smoke come out of it, and they're not harmful, but that they do blow up, actually blow up. Okay?
Okay.
But those are the MOSFETs. And since they are the main drivers, it makes everything else useless in the system, because they're the small little generators. If you don't generate anything, you have no power, so therefore everything else is obsolete. Like I say, he's talking to a person who understands components. Okay? And when we use those same components, you're going to see those if you study anything about Nikola Tesla. You'll see that he's using the components. You also see that other people who use his patents, which I did send you, that he's getting amps and he's getting voltage. Okay? And he explains, hey, I used Nikola Tesla's patent. Well, if Maxwell used his patents, he would eliminate the problem of overheating the MOSFETs, because guess what? He wouldn't need to overheat the MOSFETs, because the transient energy spikes would be handled in his system. I don't care if they had a gigabyte or even a trigger, what we say wave. If it's on a wave that intense, which is over microwaves, over what's named, then you have to use Nikola Teslas to handle those large spikes.
So basically, according to you, you believe that the biggest problem that Maxwell has right now, it must be overheating, and
yes, yes.
I see.
MOSFETs are very weak components, and like I say, if I'm wrong, then his product will be out soon. But remember, it's been over 8 years, and he still haven't put out a product. His investors are claiming that they're going to sue him because he won't show his work. So the whole point is that I said when I came out, I waited for years for him to bring out his product, because he wasn't the only one who figured this out. But after so many years, I just said, look, I'll tell you guys the secret, because we have newer technology. We're way past this thing of just taking radio waves and amplifying them. We're way past this. That's old technology. It's over 100 years old. Nikola Tesla was the first person to take radio waves and harness them.
Yeah.
He has all the patents to prove that. But he also has the solutions that we didn't come up with. And when you look at the solutions, it was like, oh, so we know we got transient energy. Remember, they put snuffer circuits on the components to get rid of transient energy, because they're harmful to all the other circuit. So if you, when you use Nikola Tesla's patent, you wouldn't have to worry about that.
I see. So
not only, go ahead.
So it means you're saying that Maxwell has to look at Nikola Tesla's patent to be able to solve the problem that he's facing right now.
Yes. But if he's stubborn and saying, well, my work has nothing to do with Nikola Tesla, then you guys are going to be waiting 8 more years to see his product out. Okay?
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to learn from history. He has to learn from people who've already done this. And Nikola Tesla took radio waves and he started running light bulbs and what's names and everything else. You got to understand, we built the crystal radio, which we can use to change over to electricity and also run LEDs and light bulbs and other things like that. It runs on the same principle. Radio waves.
I see. So in the last video you said that you've been doing this for over 30 years, and many people came in the comment section asking, like, if you've been doing this for all this time, like, where's that one thing that you can be able to show that you've been doing this, like the evidence or some sort of thing related to that?
Yes, and that's the reason why I put out the video. If you don't know me, why would you assume? That's what I put the video on my channel. I was like, you all claiming that I didn't do this, I haven't done this, and my whole house runs on this technology for over 8 years. So the whole point is that you have to know me before you can make that excuse that, why haven't you brought this out? I have brought it out. But I'm in America, and America tries to suppress all this technology from all the other countries. And I'm dealing with that today, because when I moved out of America and moved to another country, you know what they started doing? Turning off my phone. oh, we don't send this technology over to this country. If you read the news, they said, wait a minute, Russia is not supposed to have AI capability. They put a ban on it. They do this for every country. They do not want you using what we know in America already.
I see. Yeah, which comes to that issue of suppression of free energy. You believe, like for instance, Maxwell keeps on claiming that security issues are the reasons behind why he is unable to like expand or maybe sell his products. And like, do you believe security is really behind the free energy spreading of free energy
Then
to the people worldwide?
Here's what I say. If it's that much of security he going through, I should be going through the same thing. I'm giving it out and telling everybody this for free.
Yeah.
You know what he's getting the security issue at? He's trying to make money. Okay?
Yeah.
That's all he's trying to do. So you're messing with other people's money. Okay? Of course people are going to come after you because it's all about money, especially if you tell your people that you have a website and you're selling a product and there's nothing on your website. Especially when you invite people to look at your things and then tell them they can't even get in the car. And then when you let them in the car, you leave the country and leave them standing ready to test. So now they're complaining and they're telling people around the world what he did. That's just not professional to tell somebody one thing and do another. So now he has to contend with me. And I says, dude, I will give this stuff for you free. Come test it. I don't have to sell you my product. My product is for sale. But guess what? I will let you test it so you know that I'm not trying to scam you. I will let you do everything he won't do so you will know that at least one of us is legit and not trying to scam you. But guess who they gave the money to? They gave it to him. And I said, and I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that at all. But guess what? I'm the one showing you how it works. You went over to him and he hasn't shown you anything. Don't complain. And we're telling all the investors, don't complain when you have someone you know who will give you all the answers, show you all the answers, show you the product, so everybody will be on the same page. So you'll know that what you're getting for your money. But you gave the money out and you didn't get anything for it. They were wrong for doing that.
Yeah, and I saw some people in the comment section saying that it's not really a crime as such because many companies accept pre-orders. Do you believe this is the same thing as that, like maybe a pre-order or something?
Say it again. Say it slower.
Many people are saying that it's not really a crime because we have a lot of companies which usually accept pre-orders for products before they are able to deliver much later, and they believe that maybe Maxwell is also just doing the same thing.
Okay, so let's put this me and you.
Yeah.
I tell you to buy my product, right?
Yeah.
And you give me money.
Yeah.
It's 8 years. I still haven't delivered the product. How long are you going to wait? Just let me know that answer. So I'm just saying, just let me know your answer. How long are you going to wait?
Yeah, actually, this is quite strange. Anyways, this is strange in Maxwell's case. It's just strange. I tried asking him about it, but he says that it's just social media and they are creating false narratives to damage his name, which again comes back to the free energy and suppression thing. But according to you, you're saying that you don't believe that is the case, that is being suppressed by big oil
I
companies and
don't
all
have
that.
to believe or not believe. This is what I can tell you.
Yeah.
If you give me money on that larger scale, and I just put it in the bank, after that longer period of time, I can give you your money back plus interest, because guess what? I made money on other stuff.
Yeah, that's correct.
But the whole thing is, you still haven't got your product. That's the point. Where's the product? Have you talked to one person that says, "Oh, I got the generator," and showed you pictures of it, or "Hey, we're running it right now, and this is how well it runs"? Where's these people at?
Yeah.
Okay, so if he's working, if Maxwell is working with the government and he gets millions and millions of dollars, and then he never gives out a product, if the investors get their money back, that means he just put it into the banking system or another thing at high yield, and they return the very money. They still haven't got a product.
Yeah, actually no product.
Right. And even if he just said, let me let you test my product. That's the difference. He said, maybe I can't put out the product right now, but let me get your instruments, come to the seminar, and so you can put your instruments and test if this is real or not. That would be something that you do with investors. But if the investor said he would not let us do that, even when he promised he would let us do it, we flow down to the company with our instruments to test the products, and he would not let us test the products. They're saying that, not me. It's on video.
Yeah, they said that.
Yes. And now you have me on the scene, and I say, hey, investors, come test my product. I know that it works. It's not a new technology. I have full disclosure. It's nothing disclosed. It's old technology. You just didn't understand how Nikola Tesla products work. So let me explain it to you, let you test it, and then guess what? You'll have a generator that can generate power from solar energy, atmospheric energy, generators, or what they call water dams. Yeah. Okay, any energy you put into this thing, it's going to change it into a usable current, just like you get from your socket. Usable current, not just voltage. And that's the key.
So, according to you, do you feel like maybe as of now, you as Lloyd, like you are the closest person that, or the closest thing that you'll be able to maybe get us to use this free energy? Like, how far are you in terms of developing that concept? In the previous interview, you said that you are working on a prototype. I mean, there's a time.
Wait a minute. Yeah. Did I not send you the pictures of the actual prototype working in my basement?
You did send. So you did send. But now we are talking to an audience who doesn't know that. But I'll post it. I'll post it on the video.
What I'm saying is when you give out my YouTube site, everybody will be able to see it, because I did put it out there for everybody to see.
Yeah,
and it is running in the basement, and that has been running for over 8 years. Yeah. That I did more than one prototype. Okay, and I'm going to be putting those out on there to look at how I run my system now, because the system is more efficient than the initial thing that we talked about on the podcast.
Yeah.
On the podcast, I just told them the very rough estimate because I wanted to prove that they were going to say that this actually works. Okay?
Yeah.
But I put my energy through a tie grid. It eliminates all the rest of those components. The charge controller, what's name, all that goes away. All those components you've seen on my wall, all that goes away. I have one component, a blue box. It's called a tie grid inverter, or a grid tied inverter. Okay, it ties into your electric system, and you plug it into your electric system, the wall itself, and now you're putting electricity into your walls of your house. That's how the technology works.
I see.
That's the reason why I sent you those videos, so you could look up that technology. What is this thing they call a tie grid inverter or grid tied inverter? What is this thing? And when you see that I'm putting 7,000 kilowatts back in my house, then you know you can see the wraparound. Because if I want to plug my LED lights into the socket, it's using the energy of the 7,000 kilowatts that I use.
Like those videos you shared on and the pictures, are they like what you're building right now in Laos, or that one was when you were in the US?
No, I'm building them here in Laos.
Oh.
The one in the United States is already done and it's up and running. What I'm doing is I'm letting it run for so many years to test the durability of the system.
Okay. I'll be able to put it up also so that people can see actually, because there's somebody who had asked for something related to that. Then I told them that in the comment section that actually Lloyd is working on a prototype. After the interview or after the podcast you had with those guys, you told me that you had agreed to develop a prototype where you are in Laos. So I told them that you're working on one. So I'll be able to put it up as well so that people can see it.
Yes. But see, what happened is now they have to come and test it. So you can see it all day long on the thing. I've always put that thing up on YouTube. That's not the first video I've done with showing the prototype.
Yeah.
Okay, so I did many videos. Am I right?
Yeah, you have a ton of videos. I've seen that on YouTube.
Okay. So the whole point is I showed the LED lights. I was sitting on my porch and I showed, hey, this is how I run my LED lights, what they look like, what it was on. Then I go back to the prototype. Yeah, I'm running this prototype. Okay, so it's many videos that I've already put out. And I kept giving out the video to other people. I sent you a video of the test before I even started doing or putting all that stuff together, my initial test. Correct?
Yeah.
And how many amps and how many volts does it take to run that 1,000 watts inverter? How many amps and how many watt voltage?
From what you've I'd seen it. If I open it, it will affect my record. I'm using a different phone to record this conversation.
No. I understand that. I thought you looked at this already. I sent you a picture, and I froze it, and it showed 1,000 W, which means watts.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, it said 1,000.7 watts. Then on the meter at the top, it said 3.2 amps. And then at the bottom, it said 36 volts.
Yeah.
And I sent you a picture of that, right?
Yeah, you did share it.
I did share. Yeah, this is the reason why. Because I said if we're going to talk, let me give you this information so we can talk about it. So you won't have to go back and look at. You'll already seen it.
Yeah, I'd already seen it. I'd already seen all the pictures you had shared.
Yes, but I'm just giving you the information on why I was sharing it. Is because when you do these type of interviews, you want to be able to say, okay, not only did I share this, we can prove how much energy it takes to run 1,000 watts and put it directly back into your household. And if you can put that, and then I show you, I have 5 of these boxes. That means 2 of them are 2,000, and 3 of them are 1,000. That's 7,000 watts. My household only uses 3,000 watts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's when you get the bill at the end of the month. It was like, how many kilowatts did you use? Well, 3,000 kilowatts is what it used, and it gives you a bill. Well, my bill is down to around $100. Those are the fees they charge you for being on their system, because I'm already pumping 7,000 watts of energy into my house.
Oh, you have to pay a standard fee every month.
Yes. And here's the thing. Tie grids are nothing new in the United States. They used to produce tie grids that would just pump energy out into the system. But they said that people were getting electrocuted on the lines. So they remade the tie grids. If the electricity that you're hooked to turns off, so does the tie grids. That's the one part about the tie grid that people hate. Is because if the people who are providing the energy for you, if you're not on the system, tie grid don't work. You have to be getting electricity from them in order for you to use the tie grids, or you have to get it from a battery power and trick the tie grids thinking it's got an ordinary power coming from the grid. This is how they keep you on the system.
I see. And so, like, can you be able? There's a person who I saw. He can be able to recharge his battery using the grid. Now, can you be able, like, once you charge your batteries to full, let's say that you've only bought a few solars that you have connected them using your system with the LEDs, and now you are able to use it over the night, and you don't have another solar on the outside that it can be able to charge maybe during the day. Can you be able to use now electricity from the grid to power your batteries, and then you have the batteries running those LEDs?
I don't even need batteries in my system. The energy coming from the solar runs all the energy that I need. Okay, so that's the whole point of having solar. The only reason why we use it the way we're using it, LED lights, is when it makes voltage. We need to get our amps back. So when we get the amps back, I can charge any system that I want. That's what we were just talking about. How many amps does it take to run the tie grid? And you've seen 3.2. If you got 3.2 amps, but your solar only produces voltage, where is this energy coming from? It's coming from the MOSFETs.
I see. So you've been able to produce those 3.2 amps from the MOSFETs?
Yeah, I can produce up to 47 amps if I want to run them like Maxwell is running them, but I don't have to run my MOSFET at full capacity. I only need to run them at 5 amps. Now, all you got to do is do the calculation. 17 times 5. Okay, that's watts. When you multiply 17 times 5, you got watts coming out of this. So that watts, what can you run with that energy?
I see. And to can you be able to maybe I like you, like, I know, for me personally, I know how you explain your technology, how it works, and the concept of OverUnity. But let's say if we have somebody who's just
It's
hearing.
Let's make that correction.
Yeah.
The word is not OverUnity.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do this little exercise so everybody understand.
Yeah.
What is your definition of OverUnity?
I believe like a system that can be able to run like forever or always on its own, being able to like,
okay,
yeah, being able to reuse, like it's able to maintain the energy input that it's getting. It's able to maintain it so that the same energy can be recycled and reused to pump the same system to make it continue going.
Okay. Yeah. Now, the word over and the word unity is a compound word. This is how we do English. There's two words brought together. A compound word. Give me the definition of over. What is the definition of over?
Over means something like it has gone beyond, or I think beyond or above.
Okay. And what is the definition of unity?
Unity, I think, is like coming together
as one.
Yeah, as one.
Okay. So where in the dictionary would you find more power out than in is OverUnity as a definition? And what dictionary and where you can find that definition anywhere written down?
I think on online. I don't know if you can be able to find it in the dictionary.
No, you can't find it in a dictionary. They changed the word. It's propaganda to mislead you. Let me tell you the true word or definition of OverUnity. A water wheel is OverUnity. Why? Water pours over the wheel, right? That's over. The water fills up the cups and then empties out. You can't have a water wheel with one cup on the wheel. Am I right?
Yeah.
So it has to be a bunch of cups on the wheel, which means they have to unify. A bunch of cups has to be as one. That's called unity. Over unity. A bucket brigade or a sand brigade is OverUnity. Okay? This is a bunch of people standing in line handing either water buckets or sandbags to the next person. Over to the next person, and then he's handed over to the next person. That's over. And the unity is that they all working together as one. That's unity. That is the true definition of OverUnity. So anybody who tries to change the definition itself and make a new definition is tricking you.
I see.
That's why you guys can't accomplish anything, because they're misinforming you. And when you get the real information, you're able to use OverUnity by guess what? Hooking a bunch of batteries with a relay switch on it. You take energy from one battery, and when 1% of that battery gets discharged, it switches over to a fresh battery while charging the battery you just was taking energy from. This is OverUnity. This is what I created when I was 14 years old and wrote papers and scientific papers and books on this subject. And I named it OverUnity, and that was in 1982.
That's a long time ago.
Yes. I did it for my science fair. I also, in my next science fair, I made the photorealistic mirror. It was camouflage. It made you invisible. And I used 4 TVs to demonstrate this. So I had a whole bunch of products that I've been putting out over years, many different technologies that I've wrote books and stuff around. But again, like I said, United States didn't want this type of technology out.
They want to keep it a secret, more like free energy suppression.
Yes, but you know that they did that to Nikola Tesla. They took all of his notes and all his bunker. The FBI did.
Yeah.
And then when they asked for it back, black lines, what they call redacting, went through all his notes and papers. Okay?
Yeah.
So if you're not letting these secrets out, if you're taking technology people developed like the water engine, and the person dies, what happened to the patent? Remember, he was celebrating in a restaurant that the government gave him money, and he got food poisoning. Okay, that's tragic, but that's not the main point. What happened to the patent? Where's the technology? You paid for it. Yeah. They paid for it. So where's the technology?
I see. So this thing of suppression has been on for such a long time. Suppression of free energy.
Free energy is things that we get from the sun. Free energy is the things we get from the water. Free energy is the things we get from the wind. Okay? There's so much free energy out there. You guys just have to learn how to use it. This is the reason why I said you have to learn about transient energy. And once you learn about transient energy and how to produce it, then all these other things become viable, because you're going to start making way more power from your wind power. You're going to make more power from your water power. You're going to make more power for your solar project if you just understand what Nikola Tesla gave you in the first place.
So yeah, we are going to come back to transient energy, but first I want us to go back to your technology, like if you can be able to explain, let's say, to the audience how it's flowing. Let's say from the moment that you have the batteries are lighting up the LEDs, then these LEDs now can be able to power the solar. And now, can you be able to explain to somebody, let's say somebody who've just heard about you for the first time and wants to know this, how that energy flows, let's say in layman's language, how it flows to being able to recharge the system?
Okay. First of all, you had a critical point of understanding that a phone charger puts out 5 volts and 1 amp. That is 5 watts of power.
Yeah.
5 volts, that's with a V, and 1 amp with an A.
Yeah.
If you say 5 times the amps, 1 amp, you get 5. 1 times 5 1 times 5 is 5. Okay? So you got 5 watts of power. My lights, which I showed on the video, work on 5 watts of power. It has a USB on the end. I plug it into my phone charger, and now the lights are on as long as I got battery power. Is that understandable so far?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so now second thing. Once I put the energy from the solar through the MOSFETs and get the pulse current back into the charge controller, okay,
Yeah.
that means volts times amps into the charge controller, and that now I got plenty of amps and I'm charging my batteries. I'm charging my batteries with more energy because of the MOSFETs than I am putting in from the phone charger, because the phone charger takes 5 watts of power. Okay?
Yeah.
So because that has pass-through charging, there's the key right there. Pass-through charging, your phone charger must have that capability. What is this pass-through charging? It's exactly with your phone. If you're talking on this phone right now and you run out of energy and you plug into a phone charger and plug it in, your phone will start to fully charge while you're talking on the phone.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, that's called pass-through charging. So now, since the lights are already on, I now charge the phone charger from the USB on the inverter or my charge controller. It's just extracting the 5 watts from the battery. But we're putting more energy into the batteries than we're taking from the battery, 5 watts. And we're charging the batteries way over 5 watts. So there's your loop.
Mm-hmm.
There's your loop.
I see, because I did post one of your video about the same, and the main concern that people are having was like you're going to lose more power or more energy lighting up the LEDs than what you get in return.
Okay.
And
so
there's
all you do the numbers.
Yeah.
I took LED lights and wrapped them around a foam core. So I have 2 sides. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I sandwiched them between 2 solar panels. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so then I measured the solar panels, which gave me 17 volts on each panel, right?
Yeah.
So what is 17 times 17?
I think it's usually, is it 140 some 17 times 17?
Yeah, what is it? 17 plus 17 is what?
17 plus 17 or 17 times 17?
No, 17 plus 17.
Oh, that's 34.
Say it again?
34.
Yes, 34. So tell me this. How are they counting if you put in 5 watts of power into the solar system and you're getting 34 volts out of the system, and when you put it through the MOSFET circuit, you're getting 5 amps. So how is it less?
Yeah. I would like you to explain that.
Yeah, like I said, if you do the math, if you follow with me with the math is that 1, you have more voltage than you are putting in this system, and then you're recovering it with the amp through the MOSFETs. So the MOSFETs are creating the amps you needed to run your system.
I see. So the main important in all this are the MOSFETs.
Yes, those are your drivers.
Meaning,
And when you understand how to drive it with transient energy, this is how I tell people to figure it out. Now, today I talked to a person. She was a female.
yeah,
And I had to walk her through this. And she said, I told her to go to Chat GPT
yeah,
and ask the question about transit energy. And that's all I want her to ask. She came back to me and said, well, it said you can't have perpetual motion and you can't have it. And I said, that's good. That's a good answer. That's the way it's supposed to always answer to people who don't know. So when you go back, I wanted to answer this question. I says, if I'm using transit energy to get pulse current, is this possible? So then she asked the question to Chat GPT, and she says, hey, does this MOSFET put out pulse current? And then it had to say, well, yeah, it gives pulse current. And then I said, ask the other question. If you have a MOSFET that can put out 47 amps and you're putting out pulse current, okay, shouldn't I be able to get 47 amps? And it said, yeah. So I said, well, 47 amps times 17, is that usable energy? And it said, yeah. So I said, so what's the problem? And then all of a sudden, it's giving you the answer. It says, well, it's not a problem. This is not perpetual motion. This is transit energy. And most people can't use transit energy. So I says, now put in Nikola Tesla's patent. And I gave the patent number. Okay?
yeah,
And in that patent number, it said, yes, you can catch transit energy without heat or losing heat in the system. Okay?
okay,
So what we did is that we proved that the AI knew the answers, but it did not want to give you those answers in beforehand. So it's designed that way. It's designed to keep you on the systems. When you ask the answer, it says, I knew this was the answer, and you go away. You stop asking questions. Those who know, wait a minute, did you make a mistake? And give them the correction, and it'll say, yes, I made a mistake.
I see. So if I'm getting you right, it means these people were saying that the system will be able to lose more energy. It means they've never, like for them, they just run LEDs directly without having to go through the MOSFETs. Or why do you think they believe so? It means they don't actually go through the step of MOSFETs.
They do, but they don't want you to know that. This is the reason why I had to teach people that use your regular household electricity.
Yeah.
Do you think it's amps coming out of that plug when you plug it in? If you think it's amps, this is the reason why you've been tricked so long. That's called pulse current. That means you have to turn the transformer on and off. Amps can't be transferred over the gap of a transformer. The turning on and off of the transformer creates pulse current. Amps are direct. Pulse current is resistance. And a lot of people don't understand those terms, so therefore they just call them amps. This is the reason why they have to re-educate themselves to understand Nikola Tesla gave you free energy 100 years ago. You've always had free energy. You just didn't know how to utilize it.
And if you go back to your system again, another question that came up, many people were asking, like, do you use a special type of LEDs or not? I'd seen on the internet they specify on the wavelengths that some will do better than others. But I'd like to hear about you because you've been doing this for long.
I'm using LED lights, rope lights, but I'm looking for white light and anything that says daylight.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Or anything close. If the LED light says warm lights, that means that it's too dim to work in the solar system. You have to get the brightest white light you can possibly get on the market.
I see. So yeah. So it means the type of LEDs also are important. And another thing I'd seen, they say that also the type of the solar, like the type of solar that you're using. Some
doesn't matter long as you can stretch over the LED lights over the whole panel and cover the whole panel. It does not matter what solar panel you use. Now, people are going to try to get a bigger panel. Oh, if I get a 250 watt solar panel, okay. Well, now look how many solar lights you have to use when I only have to use one.
Yeah.
One string of rope lights for 5 volts. If you got to go with that big panel, you're going to have to use many of those 5 watts. I'm not saying it won't work. I'm just saying that you got to do the math behind it.
Okay. Okay, I see. Up to that point, I'm satisfied with that. So maybe we could go to Transient Energy. Yeah, I see that's the topic that you really want to share.
Well, it's the main topic. You have to know what that word is, transient energy. Okay? I call it transient energy for short, but it's transient energy. Anybody who goes to any AI and asks about transient energy, what it's going to tell you is that there are spikes, and these spikes are unusable. Okay?
Yeah.
Unusable because they don't last long. So I made a YouTube video showing you, hey, I'm tapping the speaker with an LED in there. It lights up, it flashes, it goes away. I said, is this transient energy? And I go to AI and I ask, is this transient energy? Okay, so for anyone listening, this is what I want you to do. They have a YouTube video called Speaker Generator. Speaker Generator. This is. I hope everybody knows what a speaker is, right? The thing that gives you music out of sound, that's a speaker.
Yeah. Maybe,
okay.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to, in case they don't understand my accent.
Yeah.
But a speaker generator is what the video is about. So if you go there and you start watching this and you put it into your AI and you say, hey, look at this video. Is this transient energy? It's going to say yes. Okay?
Yeah.
It's going to say yes. So if this is transient energy and you go to my video and I start showing this, and then when you start to see that if you put a frequency into this speaker, you now get all the LEDs to light up permanently. This is what your MOSFET does when you put frequency into it. And Maxwell was putting a frequency of a sonic frequency into his MOSFETs. That is way more power than you ever need.
So that's how he was able to generate enough power to power a car.
Exactly. And once you guys learn about it and learn that all you have to do is put a frequency into this system and run that frequency, and then you can get all these amps times the voltage out, meaning now you can run any application you want to run. You're going to be like, well, this is what he did. Yeah, because now all of you are doing it.
And on YouTube, from the comment section that I see from most from most people who are electronic engineers and all that, is that those voltage spikes usually damage the components. So maybe how do you tackle that on your side to be able to harvest that energy and not damage the electronics on your system?
Well, one, I can filter it with a capacitor, okay,
Yeah.
before it goes into the control. And remember, it only damages circuits in your system. This is not inside of a circuit, okay?
Yeah.
It's outside. Second, Nikola Tesla created a what they call a half bridge. If you're talking about technical, he called it a transit energy trap. A transit energy trap. Okay?
Okay.
So that's the reason why I sent you Mel's videos, because he's using that trap directly from Nikola Tesla's patent. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So that round circle that you've seen with the wire around it, because it has no electronics in it, was able to trap the energy and use the energy because it had two diodes stopping the energy from coming back. The back EMF stops it. So that's what they call a half bridge. And now he's able to turn that into amps. He's able to take those spikes and turn them into amps. So that means that we solved the problem 100 years ago with a simple wiring. This simple wire. You wound what they call a bucking coil. You're going to make a bucking coil. That means one part of the wire is wound to the right. The other part of the wire is wound to the left. And in the center they meet. The right and the left meet. They call that a center tap. Okay?
Yeah.
And that center tap will have a diode on it. And then your two ends of your wire will have diodes facing each other and coming into the middle. Now you just made the transit energy trap. And it doesn't matter how big the spike is, it's not going to damage that component because it's just wire. It's like a Faraday cage for transit energy.
Oh, I see.
Okay? But yet you can draw the energy off that Faraday cage.
I see. So on your end, you don't have an issue with those spikes damaging anything. Transient.
Damaging what now?
I'm saying that now that means on your end you don't have a problem with those spikes damaging anything that you do.
Yes. Therefore, now you start using that energy, which they've been trying to suppress. They've been trying to get you not to use these things. They did everything in their power. Oh, don't use it. It's dangerous. But see, what they're just admitted when they say that is that this transit energy has enough energy to run any of your systems. That's what they have to admit to. But then they say, oh, it's dangerous. So when I send you back to Nikola Tesla's patent and say, well, they're not dangerous now, guess what? Free energy for anybody who wants to listen.
Yeah. You've brought this free energy to us, and actually, many people lately have been getting many people who are like people who believe in free energy and its concept. Usually, I tell them most of them are interested in knowing if Maxwell technology works or not. But I've been telling them that try to contact Lloyd. He seems to be more serious about this than what we hear from Maxwell.
That's because, again, he said he learned all this stuff himself. So that means he don't have a formal education. He learned all this stuff by himself. But tell me this.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have children. If you self-teach your children, You can only teach your children to the capability of what you know. Am I right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so have you heard of the word transit energy before I told you?
No.
So that means you can never teach your children that, right?
Yeah, that's correct. That's true.
Okay, so that means that Maxwell didn't know about transit energy.
Yeah, it means so. Or maybe he came across it and tried to solve it in his own inventions. I don't know.
But remember, he didn't come across it. God gave him this idea, remember?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yes, that's what he said. So he didn't come across any of this. God gave him all this. So either he didn't understand what God gave him, okay?
Yeah.
He just followed what they said put together, like Noah's Ark. You can follow directions, but you may not understand it what you're putting together. So then, when he started explaining what he put together, I always ask, how can you explain what you put together if you don't have any education about what it's called?
Yeah, that's so in such a case, you can be able. I think you can be able to come up with a word, his own words to explain it all.
Well, that's why I think he stopped talking to people. Because, like I said, I wanted to talk to him. He said he emailed me back. He gave me his email. I gave him all the stuff that was wrong with his system.
Yeah.
But he didn't respond after that.
I gave you I when I gave you his number a few days ago. Did you contact him on WhatsApp?
Yes, he gave me his email number.
Oh.
I sure did, and I'll send you what he said. I'll forward it over to you, so you can see what he said.
Oh, then he went silent on you.
Then he went silent on me.
But you know, I don't know. It feels like Maxwell doesn't have any product at the same time. Sometimes I feel like he just came up with he looked at maybe how things are, and then he said, let me come up with a free energy like idea to talk about, because I know that it's very dangerous. I'll keep on saying that it's dangerous. People want to kill me and all that, but it's not real. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like that. I have this conversation I'll share with you. I plan to upload it in a few days. But there is a Nigerian guy called Ayomide. I also gave him your number. I think he reached out, but he was so into Maxwell's technology that he wanted to invest. So he called him because he wanted to put his money into it. And Maxwell referred him to the PR director. And the conversation they had, I mean, it shows as if they are not serious or they don't have a product, because the PR director was just contradicting himself a lot.
Well, here's the solution. I tell you to refer him over to me. I'll show him a product. I'll let him test it. It's nothing to hide. And therefore, now they'll have what they want if they actually really want it. But people normally like falling for the lies and the deceit and give money freely to be deceived. When you have somebody who's real and says, hey, I got this product, where can we meet? Where can we talk? How can I tell you to put this together if you can't meet me and walk you through it? Oh, they won't have anything to do with a person like me.
I think he contacted you. He said currently is in the US. If a guy contacted you saying that he's in the US and he said he powers his home using solar as well. He told me that you communicated. I don't know what you talked about, but he told me that he reached out to you.
Yes. A whole bunch of people reached out to me. They called me all night long for 3 days. I tried to talk to every one of them.
Oh, after the other video.
Yes, after the other video.
It had your number.
I talked to everybody who tried to contact me. I may have missed a few, But remember, I reached out to hundreds of people, and I told them the same thing I'm telling you. Free energy has always been around. You just got to understand it. Once you understand it, you guys are going to be making incredible inventions and technologies for everybody.
Yeah, and I think I'll try to get, like I was telling you about. I'll try to, if we can be able to do a live stream with some of those people. There's about 4 or 5 people who have reached out to me who really believe that free energy is real, and they seem to be like very interested in ever, like in achieving something similar, but they are losing faith in Maxwell's. I think many people are believing in Maxwell this time, but it seems like he's just doing what he has been doing before. Usually comes, he says now, in 2018 he came and said, now I'm able to power a TV. Then he disappeared. Then he came power like a generator that can be able to power 300 homes. Then he disappeared. Now he came with a generator that can now be able to power a car. And again, he's disappearing. He has been doing this for a long time. He makes it to seem suspicious.
Let me explain something. In order to make all that stuff he got, a helicopter, a car, the big energy thing that runs 300 homes, the portable battery things, he said China and stuff. He's getting his money from somewhere. So I'm telling you, if he is, and I'm not saying that he is, if he is scamming people, he has help.
Yeah.
Someone is helping him with all these props.
Yeah, that's correct, because those things are expensive. Yeah.
Exactly.
They
so that's why people believe it. It's because he's showing these props. He's got the government behind him. He's got a bunch of people behind him. But I keep saying, okay, let's see the product. Wait for the product. Year after year after year after year.
Actually, no, but I was even talking to him like yesterday, and I'm like, can you now maybe just share like a video of your own, because he says that he powers his home using that technology. I'm like, can you just share it, a video, so that I see like you're powering your home or your TV right now, how you are using it, using your technology. But it's like, no, I cannot share now. It's not the right time. When it's the right time, I'll contact you. I don't know. That's what he keeps on saying. And I was just saying, like just taking a recording of your TV. That's like, it will only take maybe 2 minutes of your time or your house. It's not something that takes a lot of time to do.
But you know how you combat that? You simply just say, listen, Lloyd Stovall is going to show me how to run my TV off of what he has. If I show you how to do this and put it together and you actually run your TV, why would you have to be the right time waiting for Maxwell another 8 years when I'll just give it to you?
Yeah.
Now, could our technology be so different? Yeah, our technology be so different. But you keep waiting on Maxwell and mine will be on the market. Because if both our technology does work and he's just taking his time trying to get it to market and I'm giving it out free, there's the difference. So about time he brings this to the market, it was like, well, it took you so long. We already got that.
Yeah, like the market will already be saturated with your product.
Yes. That's the reason why I say, look, you tell your investors who really want to not waste their money that you have a person that says he has a product and he wants you to come test it.
Yeah.
In April, we're going to set up a seminar. Come to Lao and see and bring your instruments. We're not going to hide it. We're not going to tell you it's not the right time. We're going to show you the basics of Nikola Tesla's work. And then you tell me if it was the same as Maxwell or not.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So you're planning to do this in April?
Yes. Because they're not going to let you do this in the United States.
See, if we can be able to set up a live stream, we can be able to live stream it for the people who are maybe far and all that.
I'm going to try to live stream it and everything, and I'll work with you or anybody else to help live stream it. The reason why is because this is the reason why they turned off my phone, my 77 number, the one that had the 777s. They turned it off, and all I got is WhatsApp and my email.
Everything else is not working.
Yeah, that's because, again, I'm doing what I'm saying I'm doing. I'm walking people through this. I'm showing you how it works. I'm showing you that this was old technology and how to use it and utilize it the old way and the new way with the new technology. I'm showing you all this so I can say, now, do you want to see the other technology that I've built over 31 years? This is old. You want to see the new technology that comes from this? This was the baby, and now the baby's grown and had children.
Yeah, now you've advanced, huh?
Right. Nikola Tesla did this 100 years ago. We took it, we used it, and now it has children.
That's a nice way of putting it.
Yes. So, like I said, if you got any real serious investors, they have my WhatsApp number. They've been blowing it up. I'm starting to put out what all the numbers these people, $1 billion here, $1 million here, all these things, all these countries, Malaysia, Saudi Arabia, okay, Indonesia, all the governments are calling me to get this technology.
Yeah, there was a guy from Saudi Arabia. He contacted me like 2 days ago. I think 2 or 3 days ago. I gave him your number. I told him to talk to you. He told me that you guys talked. And I said you had told me that you're working on a prototype. So he said that you will wait to see it.
I've already gave him the information to make a prototype, yes. That's because I'm real. Okay, I'm real. I have nothing to hide.
Yeah.
It's the right time to give it out. So I'm just as opposite of what Maxwell is saying and doing.
No, yeah. Maxwell needs to do actions. He told me that he's a man of actions, but we are not saying anything. I've been trying to get him to do an interview, but man, he has refused. He just tells me to wait, that he's a man of action. I give him more time. I'm a man of action. Give me more time.
Yeah, give him plenty of time. Give him 8 more years. You know why I say this? And I'm saying it's funny, but it's not. Give him 8 more years. That gives me time to put my stuff on the market. Let him take his time. Let him keep going. I'm not going to play. This is a serious time.
Yeah.
People need this technology. So guess what? Let him play. And I'm telling everybody right now, come see and watch the difference between how I act about my technology and he acts about his technology. And then we'll wait another 8 years and see if he put out a product.
Let's say, yeah. So you believe we might be able to, like yours, we might be able to use it this year. Like, are you going to begin maybe selling and doing that in the course of this year?
If the people who said they want to invest in this figure out that what I'm telling them is 100% true. That's the reason why I gave out the base technology. You have to understand transient energy. You have to understand that when you run it with a frequency, you get usable transit energy. And that's the key. You can't just have one single spike. You have to have continuous spikes and a very fast frequency. And then you have usable energy. And I don't care what system you put it in, you have usable energy once you do that. Okay? So now if they want my generators and stuff like that, I was like, I don't mind giving you my generators. Because I'm going to show you that now you can start producing all these things that you've been seeing on the internet and know why you're doing it. Because Nikola Tesla gave you this stuff, this information 100 years ago. So now that you have this information, you know that what's real and what's not real.
Yeah.
So now we can move forward with new technology, and I don't want to be the only one developing new technology. It's going to be everybody developing new technology because they have the basis to do so.
I see. Like, you want as many people as possible to know how they can be able to do this.
And then I won't have to worry about somebody trying to kill me, would I?
Yeah, that's the recommendation that actually people are giving when it comes to Maxwell's case. People are saying that make this open source so that you don't have to worry about your life.
Exactly. And that's what I'm doing. Why he's still not putting out a product. So I say, let him take his time. We already know that the basis of his information was real.
Yeah.
But I'm putting it out there because I'm not playing. So let him play around and miss the boat.
It's okay. I think we have had a long conversation. But I said I'll try, we can do a live as well. I'll try to get, there's a software called StreamYard. I'll try to get it, then I'll tell you in advance.
Yeah. And ask those people if they call me before the live stream,
Yeah.
and I walk them through it,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
To test it. It's more to talk about if they test and they're able to talk on the same level as I am.
No, I see. No, I've so far there's only one guy who was accepted, but I'm not sure if he had accepted to do a voice call. I actually I forgot to add him. He had said we can do a voice call with him, but I'm not sure if he will accept about the live stream. But I'll tell him that he doesn't have to show the face. You know, most people don't like showing their face and all that. So, but maybe we can also have this call another time. I'll tell you, then I can add those people in such like just a WhatsApp call. No.
Okay.
Because there are two guys actually who had shown interest. They say that we can do a call together with you. But I think
that everything that you're seeing is okay. I'm okay with it. What we're trying to do is we're trying to get people to duplicate what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Once they duplicate this, then guess what? And they start putting this out. What Maxwell is doing, it's over.
Yeah, I see.
But if these guys won't even test it, then that's the reason why this facade, these lies, keep persisting. The only way we're going to get past it is that we get a bunch of people to at least test the idea. Now, the people who called me, who said they tested it and it does work, I can get them on the line because they know that it works.
Yeah.
Because it's old technology.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't even need to do it with a MOSFET. You can do it with other components. That's the reason why I brought up the transformer. The transformer works on the same operations as the MOSFET. The on and off. So you've been using it for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, the transformer's been around for a long time now.
Yes. And this is all the same technology. Again, you have to understand how it works. And once you get it, you're going to see and uncover the lies that's been appropriated over 100 years. And they was like, oh man, I could have been had free energy. Yes, you had it all along. But one little thing kept you from it. You remember that they told everybody that wireless energy didn't work. As soon as they hooked it to the grid, the wireless thing to charge your phone and what's name, all of a sudden it works.
Yeah, that's correct. For some time, wireless technology was like unachievable.
Yes, but they told Tesla, Elon Musk, that electric cars don't work until he built the car, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that if you get people who are serious, let's come build these things. Let me show you step by step how to build it. Then all this will be over with. We'll be in a new era, and then all of a sudden we'll be building new stuff based on something that was been around for 100 years.
Yeah. So you're saying for you you're okay with everything. You don't have an issue.
Yes, I'm okay with it. You got to understand. I'm going to say opposite of what Maxwell is saying. If he say no, I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, that's okay. Now that's nice. I will let me plan on my side. Then I'll tell you. For now, I can work on this one and upload it. But I will.
Okay.
I'll try to. You said you on your end you have people who you can be able to put them through, who have already contacted you and they know that it works.
I can talk to him and see if I can get him on the call.
It's okay. Nice. On my side, I know there's a guy from Australia. I also gave him your number. I don't know if he reached out, but he said that he wants to have a call with me tomorrow morning before he can decide whether to.
Well, give him my number. You know, if I'm not asleep, which I'm normally not, I will talk to him. I've talked to everybody you sent my way. Am I right?
Yeah. Everybody who I sent your way has come to say that you answered them and you're having a conversation.
So I'm not hiding, right?
Yeah.
All right.
It's okay. Let me end this one here for now. Then you will share. On my side, I was recording as well, but you will share yours. So that on your side, you told me that you use a recorder, so it records your voice better.
Yes, I recorded it, but it was a lot of feedback on the phone, so you'll hear it with my recording.
Yeah, on your record. Oh, but on my end, I also use I was recording with a microphone, so I have my voice sounding better, and on your side you have your voice sounding better. So I want to bring them together. Then we can do away with the effect with the noise and all that the background problem you are telling me about. So.
Yes, it's a strange noise that when I'm talking, it started making a strange noise. But you'll be able to hear that.